You should be angry, but stop thinking that the enemy is, you know, they constantly have us arguing against each other, women versus men, black versus white, you know. It's a nonsense. The reason why they want us constantly warring is because it distracts from all of us coming together and taking a look at who the real criminals are. And the real criminals are this small group, this small cadre of powerful people.
That's Candace Owens dropping truth bombs about the managerial elite and establishment class. Welcome to Nerk News. I'm Nerkish. And days before parting ways with the Daily Wire, Candace Owens appeared on The Breakfast Club and stunned the host silent. For those of you who don't know, The Breakfast Club is a radio show that deals with various topics related to culture and politics and hosts a wide range of viewpoints, including controversial ones like Candace's.
Why do you think people give you a lot of backlash for questioning people and having questions? I see all the time with Charlemagne, if we question something that Kamala Harris did, or question something that Joe Biden did, or question somebody that's Democrat did, why do you think our people have so much backlash when you ask so many questions?
Well, because I think that they don't realize that they've been manipulated against their own interests. And a lot of it is, you know, when you start telling the truth, you become a problem to the establishment, right? So if you're the military industrial complex and you want people to just kind of sleepwalk into another war, and I'm sitting here telling you that, you know, Pentagon just can't keep finding the trillions of dollars that they send overseas. They've got this budget and they're sending all this money to Ukraine, and then they say, oh, we don't know where all the money went. It's being laundered and it's being sent back to a very small group of powerful people. And so when you have someone like me who's cutting through all of the emotional arguments, you have to turn that person into persona non grata, right? And what better way to do it than to have their own community attacking them and saying that they're, you know, pro-white or anti-black. I mean, it's a nonsense things that they say about me.
Now, as you might imagine, this appearance didn't sit well with a lot of people. D.L. Hewley had a hissy fit on social media. Black publications like The Root suggested that it was all a desperate attempt for Candace to somehow rebrand herself amid controversy. And The Guardian wrote a scathing article saying that hate can't be reasoned with, and Candace was trying to exploit black Americans' willingness to forgive, which is kind of insane, considering that none of that's true. For one, hate can be reasoned with. Just ask Daryl Davis, who de-radicalized hundreds of Southern extremists just by talking to them. And as far as the willingness to forgive thing, I'm pretty sure we've been tearing the country apart for the last 15 years over something a small percentage of people did over 200 years ago. But as Candace points out, that's exactly what elites want.
People don't know this, but during the time of Jim Crow, before welfare was established in the 1950s, black Americans were actually outpacing white Americans in this country in terms of economic growth. And the reason for that was because our families were together. We had good values. The government only wants to give you the bare minimum. But where's the rest of the money? Where is it going? They sign these bills making you think that this money is going to you. It's not. They are stealing from the American people. And you look at your congressman, whoever it is that you guys sent down to DC, and you realize that they're all just puppets. I feel like we're watching a performance, you know? Think of them as a corporation. They want to grow themselves. They want new departments, bigger departments, larger budgets like any other corporation would want. And they never want to leave DC because we don't have term limits, which we should have, right? If we had term limits and said you can only serve for 4 years, well, then guess what they would be doing for those 4 years? Trying to shrink government, because they'd have to come back out and be us, right? Mm-hmm. When you look at the way that your tax dollars are being spent, you should be outraged.
Well, there you go. You know, we're living in crazy times when relatively normal opinions like this are branded as incendiary and radical. Candace says the elites want to keep the population stupid, fat, and angry, and it's a big deal. Dave Chappelle slightly pushes back on alphabet stuff, and it's the end of the world. You know, these were normal opinions to hold 5 years ago. Now they're too dangerous to be given a platform. Thankfully, the more they try to silence this stuff, the more legitimacy they give to the messages. But let me know what you think. How do you feel about Candace Owens? Is she a truth teller or a divisive reactionary intent on destroying the country? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. This stuff really does help us out. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Thanks for watching. Boy!